Hi everyone. So I'm hoping that the lighting is okay for this and that I don't knock over the tripod because I am recording on my phone on a crappy tripod in my bedroom with no natural light because amateur hour. Anyway, I just was too excited. I got this deck yesterday and I really wanted to share it. But yesterday was just, it was a day. I'm not going to go into details. It was a day. So anyway, I pre-ordered this deck, I want to say about a month ago. And it came yesterday. It's the Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacy Demarco. Stacy Demarco has several books and several different decks. I believe she did the Halloween Oracle and the Goddesses and Sirens, I think. And then I think maybe a few other decks. And I've been meaning to look into her other decks, but I am a moon baby. I could go on forever about that. So I had to get this deck. So the box is very matte feeling. And it's not super big. There's probably going to be a cat coming right into all of this in a second here. Hey, bro. But yeah, the box is pretty sturdy. Let's see here. Kind of finagle things. You might see a cat nose in a second here. There's her shadow. You can see her whiskers and her ear. I'll just put the cards there for a second. The guidebook is pretty thick, like, you know, for an oracle deck. I can see kitty ear. But in the preference and the introduction, she just pretty much talks about her connection with the moon since a child and how it's very heavily influenced this deck, and how the moon goes through different phases just as we go through different phases in life. And this deck is really cool because not only does it go through the phases of the moon for the 28-day cycle, but it also has the monthly moons, like the wolf moon, the storm moon, the strawberry moon, and then it's got the other more celestial rare event moons, like the super moon or the blue moon. So it's kind of interesting because it very heavily aligns with just the phases of life, and I feel like you could do a lot of really cool work with this deck. So this is the back of the cards. They are super pretty. I just love the symmetrical design on them. It's just so gorgeous. So I'm not going to go through the whole deck just because I like to leave some mystery whenever I do deck reviews. But the cards are gloss, so you can see. Woo, and they are oracle size. They are big. And they are slippery. It is my personal preference to have matte finish, but I know pretty much most of the decks don't have matte finish. The only ones I have so far are the ones that are by Danielle Noel, which I currently own the Work Your Light Oracle and the Moonchild Tarot, and those are matte finish. And the cards are less slippery, but, you know, this deck, though, the artwork, the photographs, they're really gorgeous. And this is what I mean by it goes through the phases. So you have the dark moon, and then the new moon. And then it goes through, numerically, it has, I think, 4 or 5 for each phase. So waxing crescent, as you can see. And this deck is pretty straightforward. So I feel like it would be, okay, so 5, maybe 6, okay, 6. I feel like it would be a pretty good beginner deck if you're looking to get your toes wet with Oracle. This one, and you really have a thing for the moon and this type of imagery, this very celestial imagery, which I love personally. I'm a moon star baby. It's probably because I'm an Aquarius sun and a Cancer moon sign. But it's a very, like I said, it's a very straightforward deck. And my plan for this deck personally was I was going to use it in conjunction with some of my tarot readings. I've been starting to kind of explore that a little bit more, and it's really fun. I might do it a little bit for just close friends that I read with as well. If we're ever doing a reading and we're kind of stumped, you know, let's pull some oracle cards. Let's see what they tell us. So yeah, like I said, very straightforward, but the artwork is just stunning. It's so pretty. There's the full moon. I mean, it's right up my alley. Definitely. Resilience. I think this is interesting because she's carrying this heavy load, but the thing that kind of made me giggle is there's tentacles. Like, why is there tentacles? But yeah, so I'm gonna, you know, I like how it goes by the quarters, but I'm gonna flip forward just a little bit so that you guys can see a little bit of the calendar moons. Here we go. So here's the wolf moon. This is for my birth month, January. Love it. Super cool. I loved this one. I thought this one was so pretty. And this is another thing that excites me, is that there is diversity in this deck. I just got another deck that I have been meaning to do a review and flip through on, and my biggest gripe was that there was no diversity. So I still don't know how you can have no diversity in a deck. It's a little bit puzzling to me. We are all human. So I really liked this card. I love the movement in it. I love just the challenge that you can see here. The struggle, because we all struggle with change. I love that she is just pushing against, I don't know if this is a rock or if it's supposed to be the moon, or it just, but I just love it. There's so much going on in this card that is really depicting what change feels like. So, and then I'm going to go forward just a little bit more. Here's another one I really like. The Long Night Moon. I think this is for December. And I love that they threw the rabbit in there. For those who don't know, in Japan, in Japanese mythology, the moon has a rabbit in it instead of the man in the moon. So I've always really loved that story. The Cliff Notes version is that there was a man who was an old man who was the moon, who came down to ask like three animals, I think, what they could do to help him, because he was in despair. And the rabbit was the only one that was self-sacrificing, so the old man took him up to live on the moon with him. So that's how there's a rabbit in the moon, according to Japanese mythology. But yeah, so you've got like Queen of the Moon and then the Lunar God, and Blue Moon, Super Moon. So yes, I was waiting to shuffle this deck and really play with it until I did a video for you guys. Just a quick one. But this deck is gorgeous. So once again, this is the Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacy Demarco. And it is just beautiful. It just came out a couple days ago. And I absolutely love it. I'm really excited to work with it. So that's all I got for you guys. Blessed be.